So when you run a program on the command line, especially in an operating system like Unix, I hope you notice that you can send arguments to it, because otherwise this intro will be really disappointing. For example, the program yes. When we run yes on the command line, we want to send something else in, like hello. Now, if you haven't run yes, a quick explanation. Yes just spams you with whatever you send onto the command line. So this will just say hello over and over and over again until you force it to stop. So yes is clearly an incredibly important program, and for that reason, we're going to learn how to program it. So this will also form a nice introduction to command line arguments. So we have these two things here that we pass into main. In argc and char star argv array. That looks really crazy. Don't worry, I'll explain it. It'll all make sense. So argc is the number of command line arguments that we have. So for example, let's go back to yes, hello again. Now it seems like we only have one argument here, but we actually have two. Because for some strange reason, someone decided that the name of the program itself counts as an argument. So that's what argc is, it's just the count. And argv, this crazy argv star bracket thing, is actually the contents of each argument. So if you access argv at 1, you get, or at 0, sorry, you get yes, and argv at 1 is hello. So with that in mind, let's try to program yes. So what we have to do is first we're just going to spam the user indefinitely. So we do while true. If you're not familiar with this while true, what it just means is loop forever essentially. So we'll just keep on doing what's, oops, I probably shouldn't do it, let's change this. So it'll just keep on doing whatever inside the brackets. Now we want to print out what they told us to print out. So we'll go through every argument. And notice that when we're looping through the arguments, we have to start at 1, not 0. Because when you did yes, it didn't spam out its own name. It didn't say yes, hello, it just said hello, hello, hello. So we want to start with the second one, not the name itself. So we loop through the arguments. We start at the first one. We go to the number of arguments, which is argc, and we increment I, which is just standard. And then we want to print out that argument. So we'll do printf %s, which prints out a string. We'll add a space in because the argv itself takes off the space when it separates them into an array. And then we'll access that element of argv. And then at the end, we didn't actually say to have a new line. So right now what this would do is it would just say hello, 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 but no new line. So it would all just be on one line, and it would look really bad. And so we can clearly format this better by adding a nice new line at the end. And then we'll close off the while loop, and we can say return 0 down at the bottom. Although, of course, the execution will never get to this point, because the while true loop will just keep on executing until you force it to close with Control-C or Control-V. So that's how you implement yes, and an introduction to command line.